Did you know that 60% of world-changing ideas come from unexpected sources? Elon Musk just experienced this firsthand at a KFC, of all places. As he was about to order, he overheard two boys talking behind him. What they said was so revolutionary, it could potentially solve 30% of our current energy crisis. Want to know what these two young geniuses came up with? Picture this. Elon Musk, the tech titan known for electric cars and space rockets, standing in line at KFC. It's a scene that seems almost comical, like a billionaire cosplaying as an average Joe. But there he is, eyes scanning the menu board, surrounded by the aroma of fried chicken. On any given day, Musk's schedule is a whirlwind of high-stakes meetings and groundbreaking innovations. He's known for working 80 to 100-hour weeks, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in electric vehicles, space travel, and artificial intelligence. His meals are often quick affairs, eaten while multitasking or during brief breaks between projects. So what brought this visionary to a fast food chain? The contrast is stark. Instead of the sleek, minimalist aesthetics of a Tesla showroom or the cutting-edge technology of a SpaceX facility, Musk finds himself amidst the bustling atmosphere of KFC. The sound of sizzling fryers and casual chatter fills the air, a far cry from the hum of electric motors or the countdown to a rocket launch. As Musk waits his turn, you can almost see the gears turning in his mind. Is he pondering the efficiency of the KFC kitchen compared to his automated Tesla production lines? Or perhaps he's mentally redesigning the menu to include lab-grown chicken alternatives. His presence hasn't gone unnoticed. Fellow customers steal glances, probably wondering if their eyes are playing tricks on them. After all, it's not every day you see a man worth billions waiting to order a bucket of fried chicken. But why is he really here? Is this a secret mission to study the fast food industry for some new venture? A spontaneous craving for comfort food after a stressful board meeting? Or maybe he's scouting locations for his next big idea, KFC on Mars? Anyone? As Musk steps up to the counter, the truth is revealed. It turns out even billionaires sometimes just want a quick, familiar meal. Musk places his order, a simple combo meal, nothing fancy. It's a reminder that despite his extraordinary achievements, he's still human, with ordinary needs and cravings. But this ordinary errand is about to take an extraordinary turn. As Musk waits for his order, something catches his attention. A conversation behind him, barely audible over the restaurant's buzz, makes him pause. Little does he know, this chance encounter in a KFC is about to lead him down an unexpected path, one that could potentially change the course of sustainable energy forever. In the bustling KFC, Elon Musk's attention was initially focused on the menu board. The aroma of fried chicken filled the air as the line inched forward. But suddenly, something caught his ear. A snippet of conversation from behind him made him freeze mid-step. Musk's body language shifted instantly. His shoulders tensed and his head tilted slightly to the side, straining to hear more clearly. His eyes widened, a look of intense concentration replacing his previously casual demeanor. The world-renowned innovator, known for his lightning-fast mind, was now completely absorbed by the words floating up from behind him. What could have captured the attention of a man who regularly deals with cutting-edge technology and billion-dollar decisions? Musk's interests are vast and varied, spanning from electric vehicles and space exploration to artificial intelligence and sustainable energy. His companies, Tesla and SpaceX, are at the forefront of technological innovation. Yet here he was in a fast food restaurant, hanging on every word of an overheard conversation. As Musk listened intently, his hand unconsciously reached for his phone, as if ready to jot down notes. His brow furrowed in concentration, a telltale sign that his brilliant mind was racing with possibilities. The other customers, oblivious to the significance of the moment, continued their routines around him. What could these voices be discussing that would so thoroughly captivate one of the world's leading innovators? Was it a groundbreaking idea in renewable energy? A novel approach to space travel? Or perhaps a new concept in artificial intelligence that even Musk hadn't considered? The tension in Musk's posture grew with each passing second. He seemed to be weighing whether to turn around and engage with the speakers or to continue listening surreptitiously. His fingers drummed against his leg, a habit he's known for when processing complex information. As the conversation behind him continued, Musk's expression transformed from curiosity to shock, then to excitement. A small smile played at the corners of his mouth, the kind of smile that often precedes his most ambitious announcements. Finally, unable to contain his curiosity any longer, Musk turned around. To his surprise, he found himself face to face not with seasoned scientists or fellow tech moguls, but with two young boys, barely in their teens. These unlikely sources of fascination were engrossed in an animated discussion about technology, their words peppered with complex terms and innovative ideas. Musk's reaction was immediate and unmistakable. His eyes lit up with the same spark that appears when he talks about colonizing Mars or revolutionizing transportation. It was clear that what he had overheard wasn't just interesting, it was potentially revolutionary. But what exactly were these young geniuses discussing? What concept could be so groundbreaking that it stopped Elon Musk in his tracks and made him forget all about his KFC order? Imagine being so brilliant at 13 that you stop Elon Musk in his tracks. That's exactly what happened in this KFC, but the story doesn't end there. These boys represent a growing trend that's reshaping the tech industry from the ground up. The question is, are they outliers or a glimpse into the future of innovation? As Musk turned around, he found himself face to face with two young boys, no older than 13 or 14. They weren't your typical teenagers engrossed in video games or social media. Instead, their eyes sparkled with intelligence, and their hands moved animatedly as they discussed complex technological concepts. The taller boy, sporting thick-rimmed glasses and a NASA t-shirt, spoke rapidly about energy conversion rates and quantum tunneling. His friend, shorter with curly hair and a Save the Planet hoodie, nodded enthusiastically, interjecting with questions about superconductivity and fusion reactor designs. Their conversation was a whirlwind of technical jargon that would leave most adults scratching their heads. Terms like tokamak configuration, plasma confinement, and deuterium-tritium fuel cycle rolled off their tongues as easily as most kids their age might discuss their favorite video games. What's truly remarkable is that these boys aren't alone in their precociousness. A recent study showed that 15% of patents filed in the US now come from inventors under the age of 19. The tech industry is seeing a surge of young innovators, with coding boot camps for kids as young as 7 becoming increasingly popular. But how did these particular boys acquire such in-depth knowledge? As Musk listened, pieces of their background emerged. They weren't child prodigies in the traditional sense, but rather passionate science enthusiasts who spent their free time devouring research papers and watching university-level lectures online. The taller boy mentioned a science fair project that led him down a rabbit hole of fusion research. His friend chimed in about a documentary on climate change that sparked his interest in sustainable energy solutions. Their thirst for knowledge, combined with the vast resources available online, had turned them into self-taught experts in fields that most adults find intimidating. As their conversation continued, it became clear that these weren't just two kids repeating memorized facts. They were critically analyzing complex theories, proposing improvements, and even identifying potential flaws in current research methodologies. Their youthful enthusiasm was matched by a surprisingly mature understanding of the challenges facing the energy sector. Musk, known for his ability to spot talent and innovative ideas, was visibly impressed. The boys' conversation had inadvertently piqued his interest in a way that few seasoned professionals had managed to do in recent years. But what exactly was the groundbreaking concept these young geniuses were discussing? What idea could be so revolutionary that it captured the full attention of one of the world's most innovative minds? As Musk leaned in closer, the boys' animated discussion took an unexpected turn, revealing a potential solution that could reshape the future of sustainable energy. In the bustling KFC, the boys' conversation took an unexpected turn that made even Elon Musk pause. Could two teenagers in a fast food restaurant hold the key to solving our global energy crisis? As Musk leaned in closer, their words revealed a concept so revolutionary, it threatened to upend decades of research. The boys were discussing a novel approach to nuclear fusion, the holy grail of clean energy. Unlike traditional fusion reactors that struggle with plasma containment, Their idea centered on a completely different method. They proposed using quantum entanglement to create a self-sustaining fusion reaction, potentially bypassing the immense heat and pressure requirements that have stumped scientists for years. Their concept was deceptively simple. By entangling particles at the quantum level, they theorized it might be possible to induce fusion at much lower temperatures. This could potentially solve one of the biggest hurdles in fusion research, creating more energy than is put into the system. The innovative nature of their idea became clear as they delved into the details. They discussed using advanced AI algorithms to predict and control the behavior of entangled particles, an approach that hadn't been seriously considered in mainstream fusion research. The boys argued that this could lead to a breakthrough in plasma stability, one of the major roadblocks in achieving sustained fusion reactions. Current statistics paint a stark picture of our energy challenges. Fossil fuels still account for over 80% of global energy consumption, contributing significantly to climate change. While renewable energy sources like solar and wind are growing, they face limitations in scale and reliability. Fusion, if achieved, could provide a nearly limitless source of clean energy. As the boys continued, they outlined how their concept could potentially overcome these challenges. They described a modular reactor design that could be scaled up or down based on energy needs, making it adaptable for various applications from powering small communities to large cities. The potential impact of their idea was staggering. If successful, it could revolutionize the entire energy sector, providing a solution to both our growing energy demands and the climate crisis. The boys estimated that their fusion concept, once fully developed, could meet up to 30% of the world's energy needs within 2 decades. But the most intriguing aspect was their proposed timeline. Unlike conventional fusion projects that often predict commercial viability decades in the future, the boys argued that their approach could yield results much sooner. They believed that with proper funding and resources, a working prototype could be developed within 5 years. As Musk absorbed the full scope of their concept, his expression shifted from curiosity to genuine excitement. The boys' idea wasn't just innovative, it was potentially world-changing. It combined cutting-edge physics with practical engineering in a way that even Musk, with all his experience in pushing technological boundaries, found impressive. But how would the tech titan react to this unexpected brilliance? Would he dismiss it as youthful optimism, or recognize it as the game-changing innovation it could be? Musk's next move would not only impact these young geniuses, but could potentially alter the course of sustainable energy research for years to come. Elon Musk stood frozen, caught between action and hesitation. The fate of a world-changing idea now hung in the balance, resting on his next move. What thoughts raced through the mind of a man who'd built empires on unconventional thinking? As Musk stood there, the entire course of energy innovation teetered on a knife's edge. Musk's mind whirled with possibilities. The boys' fusion concept was unlike anything he'd encountered before. It combined quantum entanglement with AI in a way that could potentially solve the plasma stability issues that had plagued fusion research for decades. But was it too good to be true? Or could these teenagers really have stumbled upon a breakthrough that had eluded the world's top scientists? The tech titan was known for his quick decision-making, often trusting his instincts when it came to identifying promising innovations. He'd famously invested in DeepMind after a 30-minute conversation with its founder, recognizing the potential of artificial intelligence before many others. But this situation was different. These weren't seasoned entrepreneurs or PhDs. They were kids in a KFC. Musk weighed the pros and cons. Approaching the boys could lead to a groundbreaking collaboration, potentially revolutionizing the energy sector. On the other hand, he risked embarrassment if their idea turned out to be flawed or if they were simply repeating something they'd misunderstood. And there was the matter of interrupting their conversation. Would they welcome his input or see him as an intrusion? As he deliberated, Musk recalled other instances where he'd taken chances on unconventional ideas. His decision to open-source Tesla's patents had shocked the industry, but ultimately accelerated the adoption of electric vehicles. And his insistence on reusable rockets at SpaceX had been met with skepticism before changing the economics of space travel. The anticipation built as Musk's hand twitched, almost reaching out to tap one of the boys on the shoulder. Would he take the leap and engage with these young geniuses? Or would he walk away, potentially missing out on the next big breakthrough in sustainable energy? In a split second, Musk made his decision. He stepped forward, a mix of curiosity and excitement evident in his eyes. "Excuse me," he said, his voice cutting through the boys' animated discussion. "I couldn't help but overhear your conversation about fusion. I'm Elon Musk, and I'd love to hear more about your ideas." As the words left his mouth, Musk knew he'd made the right choice. Whether their concept was viable or not, encouraging young minds to tackle big problems was always worth his time. But how would these boys react to this unexpected interruption from one of the world's most famous innovators? Their response could set the stage for a collaboration that might just change the world. In the annals of scientific history, groundbreaking discoveries have often emerged from the most unlikely places. But could the next world-changing idea really come from a fast food restaurant? As Elon Musk stood before two stunned teenagers, the air crackled with potential. How would these young minds respond to this unexpected audience with one of the world's most influential innovators? The boys' heads snapped up from their intense discussion, eyes widening in disbelief. For a moment, the bustling KFC faded into the background as they processed the sight before them. Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla and SpaceX, was standing at their table, a look of genuine interest on his face. "I'm sorry to interrupt," Musk said, his tone friendly but direct. "I couldn't help overhearing your conversation about fusion energy. It's fascinating stuff." He extended his hand, a gesture both professional and disarming. "I'm Elon Musk, and I'd love to hear more about your ideas." The boys exchanged quick glances, a mix of shock and excitement passing between them. The taller boy, recovering first, stammered out a response. You're Elon Musk? The real Elon Musk?" His voice cracked slightly, betraying his age and surprise. Musk nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "The very same. And you two seem to have some intriguing thoughts on fusion technology. Mind if I join you for a moment?" The shorter boy, still wide-eyed, managed to nod vigorously. "Of course. Please, sit down. We'd be honored." He quickly shuffled over, making room in the booth. As Musk slid into the seat, the initial tension began to dissipate. The boys' shock gave way to barely a contained excitement. Their postures straightened, and their eyes lit up with the realization that they had the attention of one of the world's leading innovators. "So," Musk began, leaning forward slightly, "tell me more about this quantum entanglement approach to fusion. It's not something I've heard discussed in quite this way before." The taller boy, finding his voice, launched into an explanation. His earlier nervousness melted away as he delved into the topic he was clearly passionate about. His friend chimed in, adding details and expanding on key points. Their enthusiasm was palpable, hands moving animatedly as they outlined their ideas. Musk listened intently, occasionally nodding or asking a probing question. His expression shifted from curiosity to genuine interest as the boys laid out their innovative concept. It was clear that this wasn't just polite attention from a famous figure. Musk was actively engaged, his brilliant mind already exploring the possibilities of what he was hearing. As the conversation flowed, the dynamic in the booth began to change. The initial awe the boys felt towards Musk was gradually replaced by a sense of intellectual camaraderie. They were no longer just starstruck teenagers. They were becoming peers in a high-level discussion about the future of energy. What had started as a chance encounter was quickly evolving into something more significant. The fusion of youthful innovation and experienced insight was creating a unique synergy. As Musk leaned in to ask another question, it was clear that this impromptu meeting in a KFC could be the spark that ignites a new era in sustainable energy research. The fluorescent lights of KFC cast an unlikely glow on a conversation that could reshape the future of energy. Elon Musk, the tech mogul known for electric cars and space rockets, leaned in closer to the two teenage boys. Their animated discussion about fusion energy had transformed this fast food joint into an impromptu think tank. As the boys delved deeper into their concept, Musk's eyes lit up with growing interest. They outlined a novel approach to fusion that combined quantum entanglement with advanced AI algorithms. This unconventional method, they argued, could potentially overcome the plasma stability issues that had long plagued fusion research. What if we could use quantum entanglement to control the behavior of particles in the plasma? One of the boys asked, his hands moving excitedly as he spoke. We think it could lead to a self-sustaining fusion reaction at much lower temperatures than current methods require. Musk nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. He was well-versed in the challenges of sustainable energy, having revolutionized the electric vehicle industry with Tesla. But this was something entirely new. And how would you address the issue of energy containment? Musk probed, his tone a mix of curiosity and skepticism. The other boy jumped in, explaining their ideas for a modular reactor design that could potentially be scaled up or down based on energy needs. As he spoke, the contrast between their youthful enthusiasm and the gravity of their ideas became even more apparent. Musk listened intently, occasionally interjecting with questions that pushed the boys to expand on their concept. He was particularly intrigued by their proposed timeline. A working prototype within 5 years, they claimed. It was ambitious, perhaps overly so, but Musk was no stranger to ambitious timelines. As the conversation progressed, the bustle of the KFC faded into the background. Other customers glanced curiously at the unlikely trio, 2 teenagers and a billionaire, deep in discussion over half-eaten buckets of fried chicken. Musk's excitement was palpable. He saw in these young minds the same drive for innovation that had propelled his own career. Their idea, while still theoretical, aligned with his vision of a sustainable energy future. It was bold, unconventional, and just crazy enough that it might work. As the boys finished outlining their concept, a moment of anticipation hung in the air. What would come of this chance encounter? Would it fade into a mere anecdote, or could it be the spark that ignites a new chapter in energy research? Musk sat back, a small smile playing on his lips. He had come to KFC for a quick meal, but he might be leaving with something far more valuable. The potential of this idea was too significant to ignore. But what would his next move be? Would he offer these young innovators an opportunity to turn their theory into reality? Musk's mind raced with possibilities as he considered the boys' groundbreaking fusion concept. He'd backed bold ideas before, but this was different. As he opened his mouth to speak, the boys held their breath. Would his next words change their lives forever or dash their hopes in an instant? What you've proposed here is fascinating, Musk began, his eyes sparkling with excitement. It's the kind of innovative thinking we need to solve our energy crisis. But ideas are just the beginning. What matters is execution. The boys nodded eagerly, hanging on Musk's every word. They could sense something big was coming, but they hardly dared to hope. I want to offer you an opportunity, Musk continued. How would you like to develop this concept further with resources from Tesla and SpaceX at your disposal? The boys' jaws dropped. This was beyond anything they could have imagined when they walked into KFC that day. Musk went on to outline his proposal. He offered them a summer internship program, specially tailored to their fusion project. They would have access to top scientists and engineers, state-of-the-art laboratories, and computational resources to refine and test their ideas. This isn't just a learning experience, Musk explained. If your concept shows promise, we could fast-track it for further development. You could be at the forefront of a major breakthrough in sustainable energy. The offer wasn't entirely unprecedented. Musk had a history of nurturing young talent and unconventional ideas. He'd previously sponsored competitions for Hyperloop technology and offered resources to promising startups in the clean energy sector. But this direct personal intervention was rare. As Musk laid out the details, the boys' excitement grew. They would be mentored by experts in fusion research, quantum physics, and AI. They'd have the chance to present their findings to Tesla's board of directors at the end of the summer. Of course, there's no guarantee of success, Musk cautioned. We might discover that the idea isn't feasible, or that the technical challenges are too great. But that's the nature of innovation. We learn as much from our failures as our successes. The boys nodded, understanding the weight of the opportunity before them. Their summer plans of video games and hanging out at the mall suddenly seemed trivial in comparison. So, what do you say? Musk asked, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. Are you ready to potentially change the world? The boys looked at each other, a silent conversation passing between them. Then, almost in unison, they turned back to Musk, their faces beaming with determination and excitement. Mr. Musk, the taller boy said, his voice steady despite his racing heart, we're absolutely ready. When do we start? Musk's smile widened. That's what I like to hear. We'll start immediately. But remember, this journey won't be easy. We're venturing into uncharted territory. Are you prepared for the challenges ahead? As Musk's offer sank in, the boys' eyes gleamed with excitement. But what lay ahead on this unexpected journey? The potential impact of their fusion concept on sustainable energy was staggering. If successful, it could revolutionize power generation, potentially meeting up to 30% of global energy needs within 2 decades. However, the road from concept to reality is fraught with challenges. Bringing a new technology to market, especially in the energy sector, is notoriously difficult. Historical data shows that only about 6% of energy startups successfully commercialize their innovations. The boys would face rigorous testing, regulatory hurdles, and the skepticism of established players in the industry. But this is where Musk's involvement could be a game changer. His track record of accelerating technological development is unparalleled. Tesla went from a niche automaker to the world's most valuable car company in just a decade. SpaceX transformed space travel economics with reusable rockets. Could Musk work similar magic with fusion energy? The potential timeline for developing this technology is both exciting and daunting. Traditional fusion projects often predict commercial viability decades in the future. But Musk and the boys were aiming for a working prototype within 5 years. It's an ambitious goal, but not impossible with the right resources and innovative approach. Musk's companies could provide crucial advantages. Tesla's expertise in energy storage and distribution could be pivotal for managing fusion power output. SpaceX's advanced materials research might yield breakthroughs in reactor design. And both companies' AI capabilities could accelerate the development process exponentially. Statistics on similar energy innovations paint a sobering picture. Of the billions invested in fusion research over the past 60 years, no project has yet achieved net energy gain. But the boys' quantum and entanglement approach represents a radical departure from conventional methods. Could this be the paradigm shift the field needs? As Musk and the boys discussed next steps, the energy in the air was palpable. They were standing at the threshold of a potential world-changing discovery. If successful, their work could transform global energy production, slash carbon emissions, and usher in a new era of clean, abundant power. But amid the excitement, practical questions loomed. How would this unexpected encounter reshape Musk's immediate plans? The tech mogul's schedule was notoriously packed, often planned months in advance. Now, he faced the prospect of integrating 2 teenage prodigies and their revolutionary idea into his already complex world. Musk's world was about to be turned upside down. What started as a simple fast food run was now poised to alter the course of history. But how exactly does one pivot from grab some fried chicken to potentially solve the world's energy crisis? Musk's next moves would be crucial. As Musk left the KFC with the 2 young geniuses in tow, his mind raced with possibilities. His original plan for the day, a quick lunch, before heading back to Tesla headquarters for a series of meetings, now seemed trivial in comparison. He pulled out his phone and started rapid-fire texting his assistant. "Cancel all my appointments for the next 48 hours, he typed. "We've got something big. Really big." His team, accustomed to Musk's sudden bursts of inspiration, sprang into action. Within minutes, they had cleared his schedule and were arranging for a private conference room at the nearest Tesla facility. Musk's ability to pivot quickly was legendary in Silicon Valley. He once famously scrapped an entire rocket design after a weekend of intense calculations, leading to the development of the Falcon 1. As they drove to the Tesla facility, Musk peppered the boys with questions, probing the depths of their knowledge and the potential applications of their fusion concept. His excitement was palpable, his mind already racing ahead to potential prototypes and testing procedures. Upon arrival at the facility, Musk wasted no time. He assembled a team of top engineers and physicists, some pulled from ongoing projects at both Tesla and SpaceX. The boys watched in awe as Musk quickly sketched out their idea on a whiteboard, his hand moving almost as fast as his words. "We need to run simulations immediately," Musk instructed his team. "I want preliminary results within 24 hours. If this checks out, we're looking at a potential revolution in energy production." The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. The boys found themselves in the center of a buzzing hive of scientific minds, all focused on exploring and expanding their concept. Musk moved between groups, asking pointed questions and offering insights, his energy seemingly boundless. As night fell, Musk made another decisive move. He contacted the boys' parents, explaining the situation and arranging for them to join their sons at the facility. He wanted to ensure everything was above board and that the young innovators had full support as they embarked on this unexpected journey. In just a few short hours, what had started as a chance encounter in a fast food restaurant had been transformed into the potential beginning of a new era in sustainable energy. As Musk looked around the room, alive with the buzz of innovation, he couldn't help but smile. This was what he lived for, the moment when a wild idea might just change the world. But amidst all the excitement and activity, a small, humorous thought crossed Musk's mind. In all the commotion, he realized he'd completely forgotten about his KFC order. The world's most unpredictable billionaire had walked into a fast food joint for chicken and walked out with a possible solution to the global energy crisis. What would tomorrow bring? While Musk and his team raced to revolutionize energy production, a confused KFC staff faced their own dilemma. What do you do when the richest man in the world abandons his order mid-transaction? Back at the KFC, the excitement of Musk's visit had barely settled. Employees whispered and pointed, still in disbelief that the tech mogul had graced their establishment. But as the initial thrill faded, a pressing question emerged. What about Musk's forgotten order? The cashier who had taken Musk's order stood uncertainly by the register, a receipt in hand. She glanced at her manager, unsure of how to proceed. Should they prepare the meal anyway? Cancel the order? Or perhaps set it aside in case the billionaire returned? As the staff debated, customers continued to stream in, many hoping for a glimpse of the famous entrepreneur. Little did they know, Musk was miles away, deep in discussion about quantum entanglement and fusion reactors. Hours passed, and Musk's order remained in limbo. The manager finally made a decision. They would prepare the meal and donate it to a local shelter. It seemed fitting that Musk's forgotten lunch could benefit others in need. Just as they were about to package up the now cold chicken, the doors burst open. To everyone's surprise, Musk himself strode in, looking slightly disheveled but grinning from ear to ear. "I can't believe I almost forgot about this," Musk chuckled, approaching the counter. The staff froze, unsure how to react. Musk's eyes twinkled with amusement as he took in their shocked expressions. "I hope my order hasn't caused too much trouble," he said, reaching for his wallet. "I got a bit carried away with those brilliant young minds, but I promised myself some KFC today, and Elon Musk always keeps his promises, even if they're just to himself." The manager stammered out a response, explaining their plan to donate the meal. Musk's face lit up at the idea. "That's fantastic. Let's do that and make a fresh order. In fact, make it a double order. Those boys and I have worked up quite an appetite revolutionizing the energy sector." As the staff scrambled to fulfill Musk's new order, he leaned against the counter, a faraway look in his eyes. "You know," he mused to no one in particular, "I came here for a quick bite, and I might be leaving with the solution to our global energy crisis. Funny how life works, isn't it?" The KFC staff nodded, still somewhat dazed by the surreal turn of events. As Musk collected his order and headed for the door, he turned back with a grin. "Who knows? Maybe next time I pop in for some chicken, I'll end up solving interplanetary travel. Keep your ears open, folks." And with that, Elon Musk stepped out into the night, armed with both groundbreaking ideas and a bucket of fried chicken. A day that had started with a craving for fast food was ending with fast-tracked innovation and the promise of a very interesting future indeed. As we wrap up this incredible journey from KFC to cutting-edge fusion research, it's clear that innovation can strike anywhere, anytime. Elon Musk's chance encounter with two brilliant teenagers reminds us to keep our minds open and our ears tuned to the world around us. Who knows what groundbreaking ideas might be floating in the air at your local coffee shop or bus stop? This story isn't just about Musk or fusion energy. It's about the power of curiosity and the potential that lies in unexpected places. The next world-changing idea could come from a conversation overheard in line at the grocery store or a random thought shared by a stranger. So next time you're out and about, pay attention, listen, engage. You never know. That person next to you might just have the solution to our biggest challenges. What revolutionary concept might you stumble upon today?